In a dark chapter of Victorian history, one serial killer's identity remains the ultimate mystery. Discover why his crimes still shock us today. In the smoky, fog-laden streets of Victorian London in September 1888, the first victim, Mary Jane Kelly, was brutally murdered. Her lifeless body, found in a squalid room at 13 Miller's Court, lay mutilated and disemboweled, her torso slashed open to reveal horrific wounds that were almost surgical in their precision. The killer had no mercy, leaving behind not just a corpse, but a scene of such gruesome violence that it sent shockwaves through the city. Within days, 3 more women would fall victim to this mysterious murderer, who became known as Jack the Ripper. Each body was found similarly mutilated, with organs removed and discarded in macabre fashion. The killer's identity remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, leaving behind a legacy that haunts the imagination even today. In the fog-laden streets of Victorian London, 5 women vanished without a trace. The first, Mary Jane Kelly, was found in her modest room, brutally murdered with her body hidden under a pile of bedding. Her face bore marks of a violent struggle, and a knife lay inches from her throat, a chilling reminder of the horror that unfolded. No witnesses came forward to shed light on these mysterious killings. The second victim, Annie Chapman, was found similarly slain in a dark alley off Brick Lane, her body hidden beneath a pile of rags. Each woman's story ended abruptly, leaving behind only their haunting presence in history. As the city's panic mounted, no one knew what monster lurked in the shadows, ready to strike again. In the depths of the Victorian era, whispers echoed through the cobblestone streets of London, fueled by a baffling mystery. The leather apron theory emerged, suggesting that a leatherworker, perhaps one of the many toiling in the city's workshops, might have been the elusive Jack. This suspect was dubbed the Leather Apron due to his alleged trade and the dark, protective garments often worn by leatherworkers. However, despite the intriguing name and tantalizing connection, history reveals that this theory lacks substantial evidence. No concrete proof or direct links between the Leather Apron and the brutal murders have ever been uncovered, leaving the mystery of Jack the Ripper shrouded in the same darkness as his victims. In the fog-draped streets of Victorian London, Lizzie Holmes claimed she witnessed Jack the Ripper's brutal murders. According to her shocking statement, Holmes said she saw a hooded figure with a lantern near the crime scenes on Mitre Square and Hanbury Street. However, just days later, Lizzie retracted this confession under intense pressure from authorities who feared implicating innocent individuals. Her recantation added another layer of mystery to an already unsolved case, leaving historians debating her motives and reliability until today. The victims of Jack the Ripper, often referred to as the Whitechapel beauty hypothesis, might have been prostitutes. This vulnerability was not just a social issue, but also a matter of life and death in Victorian London. Prostitutes worked under harsh conditions, with little protection from their clients or the law. Their work took place in dark alleys and small rooms, making them prime targets for Jack, who operated in the shadows. The area around Whitechapel Road was notorious for its red light district, where women like Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes lived and worked. These women were not just victims, they were also a part of the social fabric, struggling to survive in a time when poverty and inequality were rampant. Their lives, though often overlooked, are crucial to understanding the context in which Jack the Ripper operated. In the heart of Victorian London, investigators stumbled upon an intriguing clue. A handwriting sample found on a mysterious note bore an eerie resemblance to Jack the Ripper's known writing style. This discovery could prove pivotal in understanding the killer's identity. However, after thorough investigation and comparison with all available records from the era, no match was found. The absence of a match only deepened the mystery surrounding this notorious serial killer, leaving historians puzzled about his true background and motives. Each unsolved clue adds another layer to the complex narrative of Jack the Ripper's reign of terror in 1880s London. In the chilling Whitechapel resident theory, some investigators propose that one of the area's local residents committed the brutal murders. This idea suggests a close-knit community where anyone could have been Jack the Ripper. The killer was not just an outsider, but someone familiar to the neighborhood, making every resident potentially suspect. Yet, compelling evidence against any specific individual is scarce. The case remains shrouded in mystery. One of the most perplexing aspects is how such a person could maintain their normal life while concealing a monstrous secret. This theory casts a dark shadow over Whitechapel's history, where suspicion and fear ran rampant among its residents. While this remains speculative, it challenges our understanding of Jack the Ripper's identity, hinting at a more complex narrative than initially thought. In the chilling pages of the Diary of Dr. Pinch, believed by some to be penned by Jack the Ripper himself, lurk sinister revelations. This mysterious manuscript claims to offer a glimpse into the mind of the killer, but it has no verifiable evidence backing its authenticity. Imagine the horror. Each entry, written in meticulous detail, paints a terrifying portrait of the serial murderer's modus operandi and perhaps even his deepest thoughts. However, historians remain skeptical, pointing out that many of these entries align too closely with later journalistic accounts or are simply too vague to be genuine. The diary's mysterious authorship adds an eerie layer to our understanding of one of history's most notorious unsolved cases, leaving the true identity of Jack the Ripper shrouded in mystery. On the fog-shrouded streets of Victorian London in 1888, the first known victim of what would become one of history's most notorious serial killers lay undiscovered. Polly Nichols was found brutally murdered on September 30th by a passerby. Her body, bearing horrific wounds, was identified but never recovered, leaving behind only the grim remains of her once vibrant life. The mystery surrounding her disappearance and ultimate fate added to the mounting fear and hysteria in London's East End. As detectives searched tirelessly, the city remained on edge, wondering if Polly Nichols was just the first of many more victims. This case set the stage for one of history's most chilling unsolved mysteries, forever etching the name Jack the Ripper into the annals of criminal investigation. In the heart of Victorian London, one theory suggests that Eve Henshaw, a known prostitute, may have survived an attack by Jack the Ripper. The case is shrouded in mystery. No concrete evidence confirms her survival or the identity of the killer. Historians point to inconsistencies in the records from the time, hinting at possible tampering. Eve was a frequent visitor to the Whitechapel district, and if she did survive, it would be one of only 2 confirmed survivors of Jack the Ripper's brutal attacks. Could Eve Henshaw hold the key to cracking this cold case? The search continues. In the late 1800s, the Baker Street Irregulars, a group of amateur detectives, formed in an attempt to solve the chilling mystery of Jack the Ripper. These volunteers, inspired by Sherlock Holmes's fictional exploits in Arthur Conan Doyle's stories, delved into London's foggy alleys and shadowy backrooms. They meticulously gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and pieced together a web of clues. Yet, despite their valiant efforts, their investigation led nowhere. The case remained unsolved, leaving behind an enduring legacy that continues to fascinate criminologists and history enthusiasts alike. Why did the killer choose to use a pseudonym? The answer may lie in his desire to remain anonymous. In Victorian London, law enforcement was often corrupt and inefficient, making it easier for criminals to hide. Furthermore, Jack the Ripper's victims were predominantly poor women who could not fight back or defend themselves. By adopting an alias like Jack the Ripper, he likely aimed to confuse authorities and protect himself from persecution. The mystery surrounding his identity also contributed to public fear and fascination. In the midst of the Victorian era's strict social norms, such secrecy allowed him to operate with relative impunity, making every crime scene a chilling testament to his anonymity. In the shadow of Victorian London's fog, a group of torchlighters claims they have identified the infamous Jack the Ripper. Their theory is based on a series of cryptic clues and a chilling connection to the city's dark underbelly. This group, known for their relentless pursuit of truth, has meticulously analyzed the historical records, piecing together evidence that points to an unlikely suspect, a well-known local doctor. Yet, this revelation is met with skepticism and outrage from other historians and detectives who have spent years investigating the case. The torchlighters argue that their method, combining cutting-edge forensic techniques with traditional research, offers a breakthrough in understanding one of history's most perplexing mysteries. This controversial claim has reignited debates about Jack the Ripper's identity, sparking discussions on the nature of crime and justice during the Victorian era. In the dark and foggy streets of Victorian London, a chilling legend connects Jack the Ripper with Sweeney Todd, a fictional character from the macabre tale of Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. This connection was made because both men are said to have operated in the same neighborhood, Fleet Street, and shared a similar modus operandi. Sweeney, like the real killer, preyed on unsuspecting victims who sought his barber services before their untimely demise. The mystery surrounding Jack the Ripper's identity and the fictional narrative of Sweeney Todd intertwined, creating an eerie parallel that captivated 19th-century Londoners. Even today, this connection continues to fascinate historians and fans of the macabre alike, blending fact with fiction in a way that keeps the memory of both men alive. In the heart of Victorian London, there's a house that has been long whispered about in chilling tones. It is said to be the very address where Jack the Ripper conducted his gruesome work. This theory suggests that the house at 13 Miller's Court, behind Mitre Square, was the notorious killer's hideout and base for his crimes. Yet, despite the persistent rumors and intense speculation, there is no concrete evidence to support this claim. The narrow alleyways of Whitechapel remain as they were during the late 1800s, with their cobblestone streets and dark, winding passages. The house itself, now a shadow of its former self, stands as a stark reminder of the mysteries that still haunt the area. Theories abound, but only one truth. Jack the Ripper's identity remains an unsolved mystery in history's darkest chapter. This house continues to be a focal point for tourists and scholars alike, drawn by the allure of the unknown. So, while we may never know with certainty what happened within these walls, they remain a testament to the enduring fascination with this legendary killer. In the midst of the Jack the Ripper mystery, new insights have emerged regarding the first case, Polly Nichols. Forensic experts now believe that her body was subjected to a more complex mutilation than initially thought, suggesting a perpetrator with greater familiarity and skill in surgical techniques. This suggests the possibility that someone within the medical profession could be behind these horrific murders. Additionally, DNA analysis from her body has revealed traces of a rare plant species found only near the Thames River, hinting at a possible new lead pointing towards locations closer to the water's edge. These findings challenge previous theories and breathe fresh air into an investigation that has puzzled detectives for over 150 years. As investigators continue to piece together this intricate puzzle, the case of Polly Nichols remains a cornerstone in understanding the chilling reality behind Jack the Ripper's reign of terror. In the chilling annals of history, a new theory about Jack the Ripper has emerged. Recent developments suggest that the Whitechapel resident, once considered a mere witness, might hold the key to solving this century-old mystery. New evidence points to a possible connection between the Ripper and a local resident, whose life was forever altered by the murders. This resident's diary entries, now discovered in an attic archive, contain peculiar patterns of writing that could match known handwriting samples of Jack the Ripper. The words whispers and shadows recur throughout, hinting at a deeper involvement than previously thought. As investigators delve into this fresh perspective, the shadowy figure behind the Whitechapel murders may finally come to light, rewriting history in ways that will shock audiences worldwide. The mystery of Jack the Ripper has captivated the world for over a century. Despite countless theories and investigations, his identity remains one of history's greatest unsolved puzzles. Each clue left behind, from the gruesome crime scenes to the chilling letters, continues to intrigue scholars and the public alike. The Whitechapel district, where the crimes took place, still resonates with the fear and tension of that fateful autumn night. Every new discovery or theory only adds another layer to this complex enigma. As the sun sets over Victorian London, casting long shadows in the narrow streets, the legend of Jack the Ripper endures, a chilling reminder of the dark corners of human nature that continue to challenge our understanding of evil and justice. And that's the full story of Jack the Ripper. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what topic you want next.